Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to Baby Steps Tea. My name is Mara Bird, and welcome to your next pick a card. This one's going to be fun. We're going to get some housekeeping out of the way. Very, very exciting. We are using a new deck. It is on loan, but it's got beautiful artwork. I'm excited to work with it. I've only pulled like one card for myself from it. I haven't really looked through the book or anything like that, so we're incorporating it into today's topic. And also, there will be a time lapse after this introduction because just to save time and to keep me on track and stop squirreling out, because when I start channeling, the messages come in and the messages are meant for the people that they're meant for. So I know people are like, well, you go off track, and I'm like, I'm not choosing the information that's coming through. So I'm just the messenger. And but I also do get frustrated with myself when but those messages are meant for people that needed to hear it, and there's a different collective. So I'm not stressed out about it, but I am going to, like, if it's something like, if it's a gossip read, I want y'all to see the cards like fly out the way they do. But if it's something like this, I'm very comfortable with doing the piles. Okay. So like I said, we're going to do a little housekeeping. I'm going to show you the questions or tell you the questions that I'm going to be asking and the decks that we're going to be using. So if you want to go straight to the readings or the piles, you can go ahead and do that. I will have the timestamps in here. And also, if you want to speed it up or slow it down, if I speak too fast for you, you can always slow the video down. If you want to get through it quicker, you can go ahead and speed it up. Let's see here. Anything else? So we're going to be going with the topic. Spirit brought this down, and it was another reader that had it, and they were like, definitely, it was like in my, like, I have a list, and it came up like 3 times. So I was like, okay, I guess this is the first topic that we're doing. How do people judge you based on your appearance? So we're going to be asking, how do people judge you based on your appearance? And it's not going to be like your nose or anything like that, right? This is a general reading. So we've got hundreds of people, possibly, hopefully thousands of people that will be watching this. And so it's going to be more about like your character and your disposition and your personality and how you present yourself and your aura, right? Like how you present. And then we'll ask, and then what are their judgments of you? And then what is the truth of you and what are they realizing? And so I will be referring back to this because when I get in flow, sometimes I have a hard time staying, just recalling information. Also, so this is the new deck. It's the Bestiary. Like I said, beautiful, very intricate book. I'm very excited to start reading it. I love anything animally, not a real word, with animals involved, animal spirits. Okay, so we've got that going on. I'm trying to think. So we have 6 piles today. I was like, really, Spirit? I'm going to try and keep it to like 10 minutes a pile. And so we are going to have a pile selection. I know. Who am I, right? I'm trying to listen to constructive criticism. Just because I don't like your tone and I erase your comment doesn't mean that I still didn't get the information. So you people have got to learn how to approach, right? This is a free channel, so like the entitlement has got to cease. All right, so pile number 1, you have licorice root. Pile number 1 has licorice root. Pile number 2 has marigold flowers. Marigold flowers. Pile number 3 has lavender flowers. Lavender. Pile number 4 has jasmine flowers. Jasmine. Pile number 5 has hops. Hippity hop. We've got hops. They make like really good IPAs out of. And then pile number 6 has rosebuds. Okay. Rosebuds. Also, this is going to be a fun reading. If you are not 18 or above, you need to get out of here, okay? This is for adults only, and it's for adult entertainment only. And we are going to just quick tell you we're not going, okay, we are going to have tarot. We have the Good Tarot that we'll be working with by Colette Baron Reed. We will also be using, which is going to be a lot of fun. I've got the Mystical Shaman here, which is also by Colette Baron Reed and another. It's a collaboration with her and another artist. And then I am going to be using Apples to Apples. Yeah, for the first time. That's the Apples to Apples debut. And then we're going to be using Cards Against Humanity, the Absurd Box expansion pack, along with the Bestiary. I don't want to get myself flagged for saying something that I shouldn't be. All right, so those are the decks. We're going to go ahead and, yeah, we're going to get to pile number 1. So I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to insert the, so you can see the shuffling, the time lapse, and then we'll go to pile number 1. I'll see you over there. Okay, bye. Hello, pile number 1. You chose the licorice root. Okay, this is pile number 1. Let's jump into this. So I did see some of the cards like flipping up with the piles, but I've mixed them all up and I really haven't seen. I try not to. I don't want to get into the pile until I have to get into the pile. If that makes any sense. We're not taking any reversals today. We're going to make it nice and easy. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's been challenging with the Cards Against Humanity, and now with the Apples to Apples, I don't really know what to expect. So I just want to take it all in. Let's see here. So the first question is, what is it about your appearance here? So for right now, I mean, you're like a straight shooter. You might have Sagittarius. You definitely, or Gemini placements, definitely air placements. I've got an arrow as well as the upper world, also possibly a significant earth placement, but it doesn't have to be. But you definitely have, it's this 5 of earth, but this 5 of earth, really interesting. I feel like you're very rooted. Also, you know what, I'm getting this like behind the scenes. Yeah, no, I'm getting, it's like, what is it about your, how do people judge you based on your appearance? You know, I think first of all, they notice, okay, yeah, there's so much air here with like a splash of water and a splash of, so I feel like mainly with your appearance, you might have a very sharp appearance. Like I have very pointed, angled features, right? And so a lot of people will think that I'm like a harsh person because I don't have like a cherub face. You know, when I had a lot more weight on me, I did. But like now, since I've lost a significant amount of weight, I've just noticed that people have a little bit, you know, I have a sharper, like angular, and it's also the way I speak, right? It's the way, and because I use my hands, all of these things. And so, because I feel like I'm very like, and I'm very articulate in your energy right now, pile number 1. And with the arrow and the upper world, this is all energy. So you might have air, Aquarius, or Gemini placements, but definitely a very strong mercurial placement where you are able to articulate yourself. And I feel like it's also in your movements. I feel like, yeah, I definitely feel like you speak with your whole body. I feel like you're very, yeah, I think you're very cognizant of your body language. And I think other people are very, you know what? I think that's the thing is I think you know about body language. You know how to carry yourself. You know, you might have worked with the public, you know, in customer service somewhere where you've, you know, waiting tables, you know, bartending, whatever it is, like you have like a certain finesse to you. It's like your own, but I think people like I don't know, people like get this like smooth operator, like con man, con woman, like Jezebel. I'm getting from like women and men, like there's something like too practiced about you. And you might just be someone who's like for me, I love community theater. So I love being on stage and acting. And, you know, I've done like a couple of like low key films and stuff like that. So it's always just something that I've, you know, naturally you have to, when you're on stage and you practice with people, like, and then, you know, as a flight attendant, right? Like everything I've done has been in the public, even restaurants and waiting tables and everything like that. Eyes are always on you. And so I've perfected a way of just like how I move and everything like that. And I feel like there's definitely something here with you, pile number one. But there's also like, I feel that people, yeah, they don't see anything past the surface. I feel like they might see you kind of like dull. I don't think that it's, it's interesting. I don't think people take the time to get to know you because I feel like you're very intimidating, right? And judge, on your appearance. It's like how you be, how you roll. Your appearance is not just like, we got picked up a little bit of, facial features possibly. But it's more it's like how you move, right? In a room, when you walk into the room, like how do people judge you? Like what do they think about you when they see you? And yeah, I also, with this, you flit about, like they might think that you're like it's like this. People are intimidated. They think you're kind of flaky, like you're off and on, right? Like you're not, yeah, no, and yeah, along with these two more air signs, right? The firefly is like on and off, on and off. Like they feel like you might not have any consistency, but this five of earth actually indicates that you do have patience and that you are able to, I don't know, be rooted, right? This like you do know how to grow roots, but it's very, people don't see this part of you. They see all of the like the way you move and the way you communicate. It's like that's the attention is on your communication when people are around. Like that's how they experience you. And then with, think about how the dragonfly moves, right? It flits from one place to another, right? Like I think people think like you're really flaky, right? And like maybe like a little too witty, right? And then with this crocodile here, like you're laying in wait, they might think that you're an opportunist too, right? There's definitely something there where like you are just kind of going around, like you go from here to there and you're very charming and you're this and that, but like there's no longevity to you, right? And the only thing that they can see really is like this, and the only water that they feel like emotions that you have is like maybe like a manipulative, depending on, on your appearance. So you might be very unusually attractive, like in a different way, not like conventional beauty, because and you might have, I'm getting like Libra, like a Venusian, like there's a very, but it's not like this boom bombshell. It's this, I don't know, you might have like Capricorn in you or something too. It's not a Taurus that heavy, but there's like a Capricorn moon or something. There's, yeah, I don't know. It's good. Okay, so let's get into the, what do they judge you about, and like what's the truth, what's the reality? So we've got bank account. Okay, my bank account, my boss, and dictators. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. So I'm definitely getting boss bee energy, rub a dub dub, blank in a tub, a little boy with big dreams and potatoes for hands. Pleasing oneself to ISIS beheading videos. Oh wow, savage. Tiny sour kisses from a lemon dwarf. Okay, I told you, warning, 18 and up, right? These are crass. And then we have the little owl, which is key into wisdom. So yeah, I think people, what they judge about, they feel like you're really in your bag, right? With this bank account and like my boss and like my business, like this and dictator, like this very like, yeah, all of this air energy, like you're very like boss bee, like maybe you like have employees or something like that. Like they definitely like again, there's this intimidation factor of like judging, of like this person's gonna like tear my head off type of thing, right? And then with the rub-a-dub-dub, I also getting like, and this is the only black card here, is like they also think you're probably like a freak in the sheets. And like I'm not getting dommy mommy, I'm getting like actual like dom energy off of this one. If that applies to you, but I definitely do not feel like anybody thinks that you submit in the bedroom. And then a little boy with big dreams and potatoes for hands. Yeah, I feel like also it's like, what's the truth? What's the reality? Is like people just don't know how to handle you because you're willing to speak up, and the way you speak, it's like, I think you put people, I don't think you curse. Like look at me. Like I'm just like totally chill. I'm totally like mellow in your energy, you're comfortable with being able to say what you need to say in a way that doesn't like offend people, or, you know, again, I getting that vibe that you have worked with the public before. And also with this like pleasing oneself to ISIS beheading videos. I mean, yes, these are very shocking cards or whatever, but I think this is also like you're savage, right? Like with my bank account, my boss, dictators, you know, I like, they feel like what you get, you know, you know, the reality. And I think this is also you as well. You know, I do think that you are pretty savage. I feel like there's that Aquarian. You might have a significant Aquarian placement, right? My Venus is Aquarian. So my cutoff game is like, you know, like I said, I was born this way, but there's definitely like there's this savage, like I feel like you like pull the rug out from other people as well, because you know this is the one pile. It might come up in another one, the suffer no fools, and people are like, okay, that's fine. Like, yeah, tiny sour kisses from a lemon dwarf. People feel dwarfed around you. That's the real truth, is they're just really intimidated by you, and that's why, you know, however you carry you may not think that but it's your energy, right? Like I, you know, you're gonna have to learn how to love yourself. I'm not here to, I mean, we're gonna do gas up reads and everything like that. But if you're like, oh, that's not me or what have you, honey, start doing mirror work, start working on yourself. Like, right? Like that's the first thing, is like trying to change the neuroplasticity and change the negative thought patterns, and being able to get yourself to where you can say, you know what, I am a bad bee, right? Like in my own skin. Yeah, we have the key into wisdom here with the little owl, this observation. It's like people are realizing about you that like you see everything. You have eyes in the back of your head. It's like you're as smart as they thought you were. Well, I don't know if they thought you were smart. I thought maybe they thought you were blunt and maybe arrogant. But yeah, pile number one, very cool energy. Thank you for letting me get into it. And I'll see you at, if you want to follow me over to pile number two, just these are fun. So, all right, see ya. Bye. Hello, pile number two. How are you? You, pardon me, had the marigolds. It's interesting. All of a sudden, I had like a spiritual burp, and the marigolds come out, which, you know, signify, they come out like in the Day of the Dead, the Dia de Muerte or whatever. It's interesting. Like, am I getting like Black Widow vibes here? How do people judge you based on your appearance? How you present yourself? So let's get into this. Let's get a little sip of tea. This turmeric anti-inflammation love going on here. It's actually really good. It tastes like a chai tea, but it's caffeine free. I cannot do. You don't want to see Mara on caffeine. Okay, pile number two. I'm excited. Let's get into this. Ooh, cow and bull. Let's see here. These cards are kind of like throwing me off. Oh, interesting. This is very interesting. Ooh, very interesting. So what do people think of you? Like, this is characteristics, personality, your aura, your disposition. How do they judge you when you first walk into the room and they meet you and they interact with you, right? Just based on how you roll. It's interesting that I have immediately, yeah, I'm getting some witchy vibes here for sure. I even got that with marigold. Like, people might like first, because I have the seer. I think, okay, now I'm getting like chills up my spine. I think, yeah, with the vulture spirit and the seer, it's like all of this like death energy, not death, but like the vulture is like, it's like people think they feel you, I think, before they even really see you, if that makes any sense. It's like your appearance, it's like a feeling they get. It's not even about like what you got. It's like how you make people feel when you roll up on them. They feel like, yeah, I'm getting like, oh, I just heard the Punisher. Interesting. Like, I think I feel like that you might be the catalyst energy, where people are like, this person's going to change my life, and I'm not sure how. They are a seer. Like, they just know it. Like, you might be a natural born channeler and not know it. And you might just be having a regular conversation with people, and like you're saying things that like they were just talking about like in the last conversation, or saw last night on TV or something. Like, the universe uses you for synchronicities, right? Yeah, and I'm channeling like hardcore right now. So I think And you might not even realize that you've maybe been doing this your entire life. You're just like, I don't even remember that conversation. And it's like, because it wasn't all yours, like the universe was using you as a divine conduit. Yeah, you're definitely a channel here. And I think people, yeah, now I'm getting like people kind of get freaked out by you because like look at the dichotomy of this, like the juxtaposition, right, of the horse and the lamb. A lamb, right? A little baby lamb, all woolly and can't wobbly on its legs, and then you've got a Clydesdale horse. So you might present as one or the other. I don't know if you like, it might be depending on the person. You might just match people's energy, right? If they're like super chill or whatever, you might show them the lamb. But if they're like showing their behind, or if they're trying to be a little whatever, you might show them the horse. I think, you might have a significant Gemini placement here. Also possibly Pisces, because there's also the two fish there as well. The twinning. I can't remember the other dual. Getting moots, baby moots. Yeah, there's something I just like, there's this reverence that you're able to, this is the masculine, a very masculine and a very feminine energy, right? So you're very balanced and you're able to step into that. Also, I think it's because you're able to see, right? And so you're able to, like, even if before you even meet somebody or something like that, or go somewhere, you might be a tarot reader, right? Like I'm getting definitely you might be a medium, right? Because I do have like those darker, not darker, but the other side type of energies going on here. And she has like this headdress, you might be part of the High Priestess collective that watches me. But we have here this Three of Fire. Yeah, this headdress, there's a regality to you, right? It's respect. It's like, how do people judge you? They feel like they need to respect you. They feel like you've got some type of authority in something that they don't know about. Like it could be like maybe you're a gymnast. They feel like you're really good at something that they don't know, right? And it could be like occult type of stuff, right? But I don't feel like people really ask. I don't know if you really get approached about you, like approach. So now that we're here, like 5 minutes in, I'm going to throw over here. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to hit it. It's a late night. You're in bed with your lover, Patrick Stewart. He leans over with a twinkle in his eye and asks, how about? And then we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then throwing a man by his big sausage. Then we have cuddling. Oh, see, we've got the cuddling here. You're in bed. He with twinkle in his eye. How about San Francisco and eyes? Oh my gosh, so much in the eyes here, right? And all this eye contact here with the seer, right? The seer, right? All these synchronicities here. So I feel like, with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, with these twos, there's it's all very, it's all very, I'm getting, here's the 18 plus a little, it's definitely, I'm feeling it in my sacral. Like how do they judge you? They judge, like, I think it's not even like a judgmental. It's like, I think people really want to like take care of you. I can't remember what pile. There's a pile that really want to like take care of you in the bedroom. But I also feel like people, yeah. And then you also have the black and white cards. It's like, you might be a switch. You might switch it up because it's like when you've got the masculine energy, like a twinkle in his eye, and then we have you throwing a man by his big sausage, right? Like, so I feel like you're able to like switch. Didn't we have that up? Yeah, switch into 2 different personalities, right? 2 alter egos. Like I said, might have a Gemini placement here. Something with your eyes. It's like his eyes, your eyes. Like you might smize a lot. Getting some runway. America's Top Model. That might be something for someone. Also, I got this in another pile last time. Like I got this phlegm in my throat. It's like you get people like choked up. And how do they judge you? I think it's they think that, let's see here. Appreciate the process. Cow and bull. I think people just really want, with San Francisco and cuddling, because San Francisco is like considered like a pretty liberal city, right? Where like anything kind of goes, and with this cuddling and like the more cuddling and the eyes, and it's just like people really want to like, I think like I'm getting like all day, like they want to like just spend a day in bed with you, right? Like they I think they feel like you would be like great to like have a Sunday day in kind of thing. I think like even like people of the opposite sex or the same sex feel the same way. Like you're just like a really cool person to like hang out with on the daily, like a friend, right? I'm getting like a really, but they definitely, I think there's something about you that does scare them. You know, there's definitely an interest here in wanting to get to know you more, right? But I think when they first meet you, what they really judge is that there's a lot underneath the surface, and that there's going to be a lot of layered, like onion type of. It's going to take a while to get to know you, because I also don't feel like you're a person that just like bleh, like all of your business, you know. So, yeah. All right, pile number 2. I think that's about it. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. It's Mara Bird. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome to your reading. All right. Oh, all of a sudden I'm like in your energy, and I'm feeling like all like, oh. You like a showman, or like are you the funny guy or the funny gal? As I get a pinch in my leg. As I get a pinch in my leg. So, pile number 3. Straighten you out a little bit. Pile number 3, you chose the lavender flowers. Yeah, you might just smell good. I feel like I just smelled you. I smelt. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. Yeah, I feel like you smell really good. Not just, I feel like there's like this, oh yeah, now I'm getting like a whiff, like a, ooh, your energy is, whoa. What are you doing? Okay, I feel like somebody has some magic on them. I feel like somebody's like doing like a love spell or like attraction magic or something like that. I felt like I definitely got a whoosh of magic. For sure. And if not, like your self-care is your magic. Like if you're not actively like lighting candles or anything that you're doing with intention for self-care, like if it's not a spiritual bath, but it's a bubble bath, it's your skincare routine. If you're not using your, your commanding oils on your, whatever it is, like it doesn't have to translate into a spiritual practice, but self-care is self-care, right? It's vibration. It's you, somebody's, okay. So I do feel like this is a witchy group. I do feel like that there's some magic on somebody here that you're using, but I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like it's just potent and lovely. It's kind of like what my candle, I explain to people the candles, the ones that I'm selling, right? It's just like putting makeup on. It's just enhancing, right? It's like you wake up in the morning, you don't have any makeup on, you put your makeup on and you're enhanced. That's all it does. It's not like pulling karma and making people do things they don't want to do and anything like that. It's just enhancing what you've got. It's just an accelerant, if you will. So yeah, and I'm already in your So I feel like I'm like just want to sit down and like chit chat with you. And like I said, you smell good. I'm leaning in. Oh, I remember this pile from the last. It's like I want to lean into you. All right, so let's see how people. Oh my gosh, how people judge you. Well, we got the peacock, so I'm already getting like a big Libra influx here. Just with the interesting. We've got the lower world with the 10 of water. You got house finch, which is know your song. We got the peacock, the bats, very intuitive, and the camel. So very well balanced. What am I missing here? I'm missing fire. Interesting. Yeah, you are super chill. I'm missing fire and water. Yeah. Interesting. A big hole, a big sloppy BJ from a mean, tired cowboy. Interesting. JFK smiling, exploding head. Wow. That's a little intense. So we're going to put these cards. It's like these cards, right? We've got 10 of cups in the lower world, right? The lower world is like all this gunk. And 10 of cups is this high vibrational watery. So it'll be interesting to see what comes through in here. My body meets sweats and the universe. Okay, so let's get into this. First, well, I guess we've already kind of been into it. Definitely getting the witchy vibes here. Definitely like how you show up. How, first of all, I mean, it's all eyes on you. It doesn't matter how attractive you think you are or not, whatever, it's your energy. It's all eyes on you. Look at all these eyes. Like, and you might have really great posture. I think that there's, I feel like people really, when I say judge, I feel, observe and make judgments and snap decisions and assumptions about you. I actually feel like there's something like really impressive about you. You might be very professional, like the way you present yourself. There's there's a lot of good posture here, and like the camel is a wonderful, wonderful, especially if you're a feminine energy, actually a feminine or masculine, right? You present as very like safe to be around, like to do business with, right? Because the camel holds water, emotion, but it's able to preserve it. It doesn't overuse it. It doesn't over its patience, right? It goes across the desert and it's very conservative, right? It doesn't just splash water around. Like, this is a person that has emotional control over their emotions and that are a delight to be around, because people aren't afraid that they're just going to pop off whenever they get triggered by something on the news, or you know what I mean? Or like somebody drives by and all of a sudden they, or road rage or whatever it is, people see you very emotionally, and they also know that you have a sixth sense. I don't know if they know if you're exactly psychic, but they definitely know that you sense things, right? You fly by sonar and they can feel it. They might feel like you can see right through them, but it's like it's not that. It's there's a it's like your personality is very balanced, right? People feel like they can take you places. Like, you're not going to embarrass them. Like, they can take you out to like a gala or like a museum or like a Christmas party or like back home to their family, and like you're not going to like act a clown, right? I also feel that you dress really well. I'm getting like you might have some significant Virgo placements, because I'm just getting like there's just a clean like crispness to you. There might be a touch of Leo in there, but like just very grounded, very intelligent, very able to like not afraid. Again, yeah, like this is you're an excellent person to like to have a second date, like to bring to the wedding, right? You're not gonna, again, act a fool. So, we do have the lower world here and a big hole in JFK's smiling, exploding head. You know what I'm really getting from this is what people judge about you or think about you is, honestly, I feel like they think that you came from something like really dark. This is what I'm getting. Is like there's been a lot of trauma. I mean, traumatic, right? Exploding heads, presidents exploding heads. I mean, I told you 18 and up, explosive. And then a big hole. It's like, and then we have like the dark hole, like you might have really got like pulled yourself through. Maybe people can really sense that with you and what they're realizing about you, and like what they think about you is realizing that you've really gone through something that's like, I think people also think it's a little unbelievable that you can be this seemingly balanced after going through all of this. Because here we've got this 10 of water energy here, right? This is you after going through all of this. And then we have the universe in my body and meat sweats. There's that self-care again, right? Meat sweats is just like you're eating the food that you love, right? Like you get the meat sweats. I was a vegetarian my entire life, vegan, then vegetarian. And I was like, what are the meat sweats? But it's like that satisfying, like, oh, I just had a great steak. Like it's like, it's like satisfaction, body satisfaction. That's what I'm picking up on this, right? Because then we also have my body, literally, where I'm saying like that self-care, even if you don't have witchy vibes, you are really, really um, honoring the temple of your body, your flesh, right? You might be actually cleaning up your diet and upping your hydration and eating more high vibrational foods and staying away from the processed foods and getting more sleep and prioritizing sleep and prioritizing rest and prioritizing creativity and knowing thy body and knowing thyself, and maybe living on round time and learning how to just roll with your biology. Yeah, take that as confirmation. and we have the universe, right? You might start to be meditating more or connecting more with your guides or with whoever you decide to worship, because you are allowed. And that's the beautiful thing about living in the United States, is we have a choice of who we decide to worship, if we decide to worship anybody at all, right? I am a child of God. I am a child of the universe. I am the child of my ancestors. All of the things. I subscribe. I'm a pan religion person. Like I love it all. I just pick and choose, right? Because that's what everybody else does. So why can't I just do it from all of the religions? So yeah, with the big sloppy BJ from a mean tired cowboy. I'm getting here. Okay, you might actually, now that I'm getting into pan, like you might actually be, like very comfortable, like demisexual or sapio or pan or like bi or like just kind of like cool if you're a good person, right? So what are people really realizing about you? Also with this 10 of cups here and then this know your song, it's like this authenticity, like you know yourself. Like, I think it's because of all of this, right? It's like you can't knock me off of my block. If this didn't knock me off my block, you think you're going to? I'm just going to stay happy. Don't worry, be happy. And if that doesn't include, other people, you keep your own peace. And yeah, again, if you're not into the witchy vibes or whatever, I definitely feel this person has at least done the work, right? Like you don't have to be a witch. Spirituality has nothing to do. Psychic abilities have nothing to do with spirituality. Spirituality has nothing to do with, with craft. Like it's all separate, and people want to lump it together. And it's a beautiful thing that we're able to pick and choose and have those options, because there's a lot of places where people can't. So pile number 3, I loved your energy. Very lovely. I can't wait to see you next time. And thank you. If you like the content, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please and thank you. All right. See you on the flip. Bye. Hello, pile number 4. It's Mara Bird. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So your flowers. Well, I guess they weren't all flowers. So pile number 4. If you chose the red, can I speak? No, I cannot. The jasmine flowers. There we go. This is your pile. Pile number 4, jasmine flowers. All right. So let's see what we're getting off of the rosebuds, if anything. Oh my goodness. Wow. I was going to say there's a lot of them. I think I have the most. Oh, why? I keep wanting to say rosebuds. You might want to check out pile number. I haven't recorded it yet, but you might want to check out pile number 6, because pile number 6 is the rosebuds, and I keep wanting to say rosebuds. So, but there's a lot of these in here. These are the jasmine flowers, and they smell really good. I might put these in my bath, but it's a feminine energy. They want me to read it. The planet, the ruling moon is the ruling planet is the moon. The element is water, and the uses are for love, money, and prophetic dreams. Interesting. So what about this is just crazy right now. First of all, you might have like a luscious head of hair. Even if it's not long, if there's something about your hair. Okay, I've got 2 like hair cards here. I've got Leo, and Leos are notoriously have like beautiful manes. I just like men, women. It's one of those things. It's kind of like Virgos and skinny faces. It's just one of those things. So I feel like you just like whatever, there's something that stands out about it. It doesn't have to be down to your bum, but there is definitely something, even if it's bald, there's something very significant about when your appearance, when we say your appearance or your je ne sais quoi. We've got lion, so definitely, must have Leo, maybe Aquarian vibes with that, but lion and freaking unicorn, like you turn heads. There's no doubt about it. Like this is like getting like leather pants too, whatever. You might have like a more industrial, like, I don't know, like I'm getting like motocross and like not necessarily like goth, but just like if you're a chick, like, yeah, like leather and boots and like Ed Hardy t-shirts and hats and stuff like that, or something like that. I don't know. Or like maybe you're like super boho, or there's just something that's like, you got a style to, yeah, you got your own style. Like, it's like everything. It's not just the hair, it's the clothes. It's like, you've got to, like, you just have a thing. It's good. It's very good. And then you've got the hawk here. People also really like feel like you're like responsible, and you know that you speak the truth, and it's not like this harsh truth. It's like I definitely getting like dependable off of this. This is like my military card. This is someone that like speaks the truth. They do what they say they're gonna do. They are who they say they are. Yeah, you there's no pretenses. I think people really feel it's like take it or leave it. Like, this is what you get. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that energy there. Like I said, a lot. Like, you're just like, you take up space. You're not afraid to take up space. I like to take up space just because I can. Anita Franco. Yeah, with the moon. Oh my gosh, here comes the moon. And then the prophetic dreams. Remember, we got the moon on here, and now we've got the moon on here. Getting like femme fatale energy too. Also, like, I was talking about round time in the last reading, but you might be synced up if you are a cis female. You might be synced up with the moon cycles. Also, you're very comfortable with cycles. It's like what people judge. It's like, I feel like I'm getting like tick, 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 tick. I feel like people assume like they have a short time with you. I mean, you're just like, you're a unicorn. Like, you're not going to hang around much. Also with the eagle, like, yeah, I'll fly away. Oh gosh, yeah. Like with this fairy, like the page of earth, like, you're freaking magical, and people think they're like that. They're not going to stay. They're not going to. They don't like me. They don't like your parents. We've got dive under the surface with this orca whale in this pod. Like, look at all of these orca whales and this one just coming out. Like, people are just like, there's no way. Spider-Man with the Beatles and Tom Cruise. Yeah, like, you got like this celebrity type of like, getting like Angelina Jolie vibes, like hardcore, like, for sure. Like, you just, there's something about you that is just like huffing and puffing and blowing my, oh, and huffing and puffing and my stepdad. I told you, filthy, filthy cards. I'm not. I didn't. It's the other way around. Pedophile joke. Hey, you can't laugh at it, right? Like, I mean, I didn't do anything to myself, right? Right? I was a child. Uncles, speaking of, oh gosh. Whoa, I'm like, where is this going? Getting Arapace from Bruce Willis and driving to a Walmart parking lot and staring into the distance for 8 hours. This took a turn. I think this is other people's energy. Okay, the trigger warning. I definitely think that you might have experienced significant physical or sexual trauma in the past here, because all of this came out here. I think this energy that you carry, like, you've had it your entire life. You might, like, now I'm getting like the black sheep, right? Because that's us, the star seeds, right? We're the black sheep. We're the one that didn't fit in or whatever, right? You've got freaking wings, right? You're magical. And I think people tried to take your magic. You're a freaking unicorn. I think people tried to take your magic. Yeah, as I get like a poke in here. Yeah. You know, so I'm sorry, trigger warning, but like, this particular group might have most certainly experienced that here. And then driving the Walmart, you might have also, you know, experienced a lot of depression, like, you know, especially if you are in this particular, I'm only talking probably to a few people here, but I definitely am. You've just been the odd one out. You've got a unicorn and wings, right? I mean, you got a horn and wings, right? Like, people just didn't, you know, might not have had like a lot of friends, like, of the same sex or of the opposite sex, or the opposite sex were just trying to, you know, and so you might have, you know, might disassociated too. Like, I'm like, well, this is taking a turn, right? Dive under the surface. There's a lot, right? It's like, what are people realizing, you know, like, with all these judgments that they have, that like, maybe you've gone through a lot. Even with the Spider-Man, Tom Cruise and Beatles, I think they put you on the pedestal though. I think they still, you know, with the Beatles and Tom Cruise and Spider-Man, it's like unattainable. Like, people feel like they'll never like measure up to you. I'm getting there as well. So you might have experienced like a lot of like jealousy and like mean girls or mean guys. type of, I'm talking to all, everybody. This is a non-binary reading here, but there's just something where people, and yeah, there's a sensitivity to you, right? You're a very sensitive soul. You feel things, you feel people's energy, you feel, because why? Because there's so much under the surface that you've experienced that has made you who you are, and you can't help, right? You might have been the person that tried to like not fit in, right? And like not like to hide yourself, right, from being this unicorn, right? Like not show anybody your special gifts, that you're magical, because of this, it attracts a lot of predators, right? That want to abuse it out of you, that specialness, right? Take it from you, take it for themselves, possibly, you know. So, yeah, I almost feel like I need to get like I'm gonna get an advice card here just for someone here. Is definitely pile number 4, right? Yeah. This is the Finch. Oh my gosh. This was just in the last reading. Okay, there is a connection here. So pile number 4, go and check out pile number 3, because there was another connection there, right? Know your song. Know your song. House Finch. Know your song. Know who you are. I feel like, you know what? I feel like pile number 4 is the precursor to pile number 3. I think pile number 4 is about to step into pile number 3. Go check out pile number 3. Of course, we will love the watch time, but I'm not going to send you to a pile that you're not supposed to watch. We don't like to confuse people here, right? Only what resonates. And if it resonates like 30%, that's awesome. 50%, whoa. 70%, get a reading from that reader. All right, let's go ahead and yeah, I'll see you at pile number 5. Hi, pile number 5. It's Mara Bird, and welcome. Whew. First time back reading in, I guess, 2 weeks. But this kind of reading is a lot different than like the gossip reads. Gossip reads kind of just, it's like a lot of channeling. So this is definitely some divination. It's really cricket. That's better. Alrighty. Let's get into this pile number 5. All right. First of all, you picked up hops. I think this is the only one that isn't a flower. Yeah, which I thought was really interesting. Also, hops are an IPA, so you might like be a beer drinker. But okay, now I'm getting like the type of person that people want to drink a beer with. Like, what's your judge based on your appearance? You might have like the guy next door, girl next door kind of look. Like you might really look good in like hats and like getting like tailgating. Like I'm getting like Salt Life or like trucks, like just like outdoorsy, kind of like if you're a chick, like you're just super like natural, I'm not getting like super high maintenance. If you're a guy, you're just like that like country boy swagger. Yeah, I definitely get that with this. Like just like to have a good time. Like, yeah, so I think people like just immediately off the bat just think like you're kind of cool. Like their initial judgments, whatever it is, and that like you're laid back. Ooh, we've got swan, stingray, and sea serpent. I like that. Like, yeah, they really they think you're also very graceful. I'm also getting like you might have like a dancer, like cheerleading background, or if you're a guy, you might have athlete. People don't realize like, yeah, guys that play football are super like they learn how to juke, like they learn how to move their bodies, right? It's like there's something you know how to use your body and you do it gracefully. Whether whatever training you've been in. Also, my palms itching. You might be very lucky. People might see you as very abundant, right? Also, I'm getting Sagittarius vibes all the way because like the bottom of my feet too. Like I had to look it up, and it's like the bottom of feet. It means like there's a trip coming up, and this means money. And so I think people with the stingray, like they feel like you're in alignment. Is this all water? Sea serpent, stingray, and swan? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like that emotional, like people want to hang out and like drink a beer with you. They feel like you're just like a really like, that water, like that that you might have a Pisces placement where it's just like, cool, yeah, let's do that, right on, maybe not, like just easy peasy, right? Swan is also like someone that gets stuff done, but looks good doing it. Like you might be a mom and like have like 3 kids, but like you just make it look good and you're like meal prepping and whatever it is, like even if it's not like being super mom, but like I just people don't feel like they're gonna walk up in your house and like be like freaked out or feel like they need to call like CPS on you, or you know what I mean? Like you just got it together, and I mean, again, with the sea serpent, you got it together. You got your stuff handled, and it's like done really well. You might also work like as a therapist or something like that, where you're helping if you're not like a mom, or or some where you're helping people. Because I'm also getting like just I feel like you're really able to teach people how to keep their emotions in check as a masculine or a feminine here, because these are definitely two, like it could go either or. And like my audience is almost 50-50. So we have the stingray here with this alignment as well. I also feel like you make people like, what do they judge? They feel more confident when they're around you. I feel like you're an uplifting person. Right. But it's like, so judgments, let's go ahead and get, we got black bear, sync with the cycles. Interesting. Cause that was like in the last reading, I'm like, am I starting to get like Alice type reads? Cause Alice would like all of her Alice Love Exists, like all of her pick of cards, like they kind of like spill into the next pile. Like interesting. Cause I haven't done one of these in a while, like with the cards pre-shuffled. That makes you uncomfortable, I did go ahead and time lapse it at the beginning. After the intro, there will be a video of me getting them out. Interesting. We got the child here. You might have like a real like boho chic type of like. I'm also getting like, or like erotic. It just popped in my head, like the way you dress, really interesting, like very I want to say erotic, because I think people would think like it's like overtly sexual, and it's not. I'm getting like just someone who knows their body, someone who knows how to dress to their shape. So what people judge about, like judgments they have or what they think is like you're really well like tidied up, right? Like I'm getting like a like maybe it's just like a statement earring, or something that just like pulls it all together. Yeah, I'm just getting like the sharpness, like it's definitely like some way about you, the way you dress and the way you present yourself, and like maybe you have like some old school car or whatever, but it's like cool and vintage or something, right? There's a style to you that's just like not really seen around. Like you might mix like a fusion of like tribal and like goth or something like that. I don't know. I'm definitely getting there's just something that people wouldn't put together, that like you put it together and you make it look really sexy. And people want also like a lot of ideas. I think maybe you speak, but maybe you have like a significant air placement, mercurial or ascendant, where you communicate. So what do they judge? Like the judgment. Let's look at the rest of these cards here. Conan the Barbarian. Can I speak? Conan the Barbarian, Master Chief, and Creepy Revolutionary. Yeah, there's that like rebel, and then creepy with the Master Chief and Conan the Barbarian. I think you get it's really interesting. I think you get a lot of like overtly masculine men, like attention, like guys that are really, really like overtly masculine to the point where they're like, oh, homosexuals, and you're like, say you're gay, got it. Right? Because you're so afraid of it. Like you might get the like really, really overtly masculine guys that like see you as prey with this Master Chief. I thought it was chef, but it's chief. So like military, like guys that want to conquer Conan the Barbarian, right? And then creepy, like you might get some stalkers too, right? Because all of this energy here really like, again, I'm getting MILF all day long, but I'm definitely getting like, if you are single or anything like that, like you definitely probably like have realized you need to like live in like nicer areas and maybe not walk by yourself all the time, like, and use public transportation because you might get people that like follow you or like stalk you, right? You might attract stalkers. Which is really interesting. I'm like, where did the and then we have, oh no, here it comes. Oh God, it's a little girl with a knife and then acting white. A little girl, a child here. Yeah, you also might have grown up like this is my child warrior, like grown up too soon, might have a Capricorn placement because like Capricorns typically have a very rough childhood. Uh-oh. Take that as confirmation. That just creeped me out. So you might have gone through like a lot of stuff maybe that people don't even know with all this water like underneath the surface. You might want to go check out, I think, pile number 3 with the orca or the whale. But this is just, you know, like I'm also getting like you might have this eclectic kind of, yeah, 5 of Cups here in like in the past here. Like it's like, what are people realizing is that like, yeah, you've had like a really rough past, but it's like, I don't think you talk about it to anybody. I don't feel like you think like it's anybody's business also, all of this water here. And it's like, I think people are up in arms. What are they realizing about you is like, I think because of this energy, you are willing to walk away from people and things and places and environments and jobs and friends and lovers that are not in your highest good, right? And you know, I'm very like serious right here. It's just like it is what it is. Like I'm not getting like welled up like with all of this stuff here. It's like someone's just really at peace with themselves, right? And they're in alignment and they know they are, and they're not letting anybody else come in, right? And because they've been in this before, they're not going to let anybody hurt their peace here. We've got sync with the cycles again, cyclical energy here with this bear spirit, black bear. Sync with the cycles, with the moon cycles. I think you are. I think you're learning like how to roll again with. Now I'm like, gosh, you need to like watch probably like 4 and 3 and then 5. This might be like, that might be the progression of like 4, 3, 5, because this is a very like ascended energy, and it's very, you're in the pocket, right? Like they say, stay in the cut or stay in the pocket. You're definitely there. And I'm not getting like straight like flow manifestation. I'm getting just like contentment, gratitude, uh changing habits, just slowly but surely, like letting go, like really working with the energies, right? You see, like, and I think things are getting clearer to you. It's like calmer waters. You know, you might have been really creating an environment for yourself where you're like, I'm not down with the effery anymore, right? It's just not worth it. So there's a lot of peace here. Pile number 5, you're amazing. I think people, it's the truth, people are realizing. I don't even think that you're paying attention to. I feel like people are starting to realize they just don't matter to you. And I don't think that that's like a mean thing. I think it's like, I think these are people that did matter to you, and then they decided to, you know, self-eliminate, you know, self-sabotage. And I think you understand, you just like, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? You can't take things personally, right? People are gonna potato. So I feel like your attachment style, you've healed your attachment style. You no longer have an anxious attachment style. I feel like you're realizing that just attachment is just no bueno. Like, why? And what's the point? And people take advantage and abuse it. So it's just easier to let things go. So very mature energy here. All right. I will see you on the flip. Bye, pile number 5. Hello, pile number 6. I can't remember the last time I've had 6 piles. I think it was last summer. Anywho, hello and welcome. We're officially, are we making this the High Priestess pile? I don't know. It usually is the last one, but it's been coming up as the first one, and I wasn't really like doing a High Priestess pile, really. I didn't really thought about it because this is like a pre-shuffled setup kind of thing, but I don't know. We'll see what comes out. But we do have the rosebuds, and so we're going to pile number 6. If you chose the rosebuds, you were at the correct pile. I don't know, is that redundant or I don't know. It just came out weird. All right, let's get into this. So we've got the gender of the rosebud is feminine. The planet it's ruled by is Venus. Pardon. The element is water. And the uses are for love, healing, protection, and luck. All right. So let's see. If you know, you know. High Fidelity, Jack Black. All right. Ooh, ferocious, smoking, maybe a little Virgo. Ooh, there's a lot of, oh, got a lot of cards here. We got some extras. Dirty. Ooh, fabulous. Anaconda, armed robbery. We've got the flow card here with the Seven of Swords, the Hangman. Interesting. The world's largest baby weighing over 700 pounds. The current political climate. Remember, I told you, filthy, filthy cards. My biological father. Turning poor people against each other so they don't pay attention to economic inequality. Interesting. And a sticky tree hole full of pancake sauce. Be interesting what we get off of that one. And oh my gosh, you can't make it up. We got two foxes. Oh yeah, you're smoking hot. And Wiley. Wiley is all I get out. This might be my high priestess pile. Also, it might be my my bank heist. What is that? Like it started last summer. There's one pile. It's the escape artist, but like bank heisty. What does this say? Shapeshift. Wow. Really interesting. I can't believe we got two foxes from two different decks. Foxes or fox? Two fox. Yeah. I believe there are three foxes. Three fox. Yeah. Like octopi versus octopus. Okay. Pile number 6. You're smoking. You're smoking. I think people like when people really first, because we've got like, and you're surprised. Like, look at the Panther Spirit. This card always really made me feel uncomfortable. But really, when it's in the upright, it's like, ha, gotcha, surprise. It's like the Bodacious Bodak from like the fairy deck. Like, gotcha. Like, but I think it's just like, I think there's something about your beauty. But it's like hello, High Priestess. It's everything. You're talented. You're a bit like you might be a business owner. Like you might have a spiritual practice. Like you might have social media. If you have children, they're like well dressed and well fed and doing, and like you're right. You like know how to cook. You know how to clean. You know how to wipe your own behind. Like you got it going on. And it's like, whoa. And people may not like, because I feel like you're highly, highly attractive, highly in a conventional, unconventional way, whatever it is. You also might be a person that really like attracts people of like all genders and all races. Like you may don't have to be like racially ambiguous like I am. But I mean, there's just some people like every race that just like everybody, right? And I think you might, because right, it's also the high priestess energy. It's what you carry inside, right? It's not just the looks. All of these piles are good looking in their own different ways, but this is the energy that you hold. You could have like a half a face and people would still, right? Because it's what's in here that radiates. Yeah, flow. Hello, manifestation, right? You draw. High priestess. What? Talk to me. We attract. We do not chase. You draw. May draw a lot of people also. Like people might think that you're really like manipulative. I don't know, maybe you are. And people will use that word like in a bad way or whatever, but maybe you like manipulate the manipulators. Maybe you just do it in self-defense, right? Like people read books and stuff. I read the same books, so you can do it back. Like, yeah, like there's when the hangman, like people with this, like they judge, like they stop, like, right? The hangman, like they don't know what to think. They don't know how to react. They don't know what to say, right? Like they don't know. And it's like, I feel like it's also this like love hate type of energy. It's like, if I can't have you, no one can, kind of, right? Like I think people really, really like you, and then like you cut them off because they're like end up being terrible, and then you just cut them off, and then they freak out. They can't handle rejection, right? And all these other people around you, right? You get a lot of people that are super possessive, right? That can't take rejection and are like, oh my gosh, all of these other people. I think you get some really, really great with this armed robbery and this anaconda. I think a lot of people, also like feel like it's like some kind of flex to be with you or know that they've like been in bed with you, whatever. High priestess energy, right? It's like, oh yeah, I tap that, right? But it's like people want to take things from me with this anaconda. I think a lot of people are just like really delusional in like their capabilities of like being able to attract a high priestess, much less be able to perform for a high priestess. Fabulous. You're fabulous. They're dirty, right? It's like this also getting like that, they want that like Madonna horror energy. I don't like the people that are interested in you, right? But that is the path of the high priestess. You're also very like, you take care of yourself. Like your self-care is just like, right? Like you can't be a high priestess without the self-care. Like you can't, right? You tend to your needs. You know that when you fill your own cup up, right? It's filled, then you can fill other people's up. But I don't even know if you're filling other people's cups. I feel like you're comfortable just filling your own up. I don't feel like you're looking around for other people's cups to fill. If one comes around and happens to be worthy of the delicious dripping meat drippings of the high priestess, I mean, people think it like it's so arrogant or whatever, but no, it's like not. In order to maintain this vibration, I don't you eat all the meat and you listen to all the things and you watch all the shows and whatever. I can't do that. My intake, I have to be so careful with my intake. So I literally lights down low all the time. So focusing on bed, focusing on like grounding and like energy and cleansing with spiritual hygiene, and like you would hate my life. You would hate the life of a high priestess. It would be like it would not it's not that cool. It is to me. I have that inner life with my guides, and and I do really rewarding work, right? I'm able to save little kids every day. Right on. And wake people up. Right on. Right. So I'm very comfortable. I have 14 people in my head. People, oh, you talk to the people in your head. Yes, they're my spirit guides, and they've been with me, and my employers literally love my spirit guides because of all the wonderful information that we get from working with co-creation, right, with the universe, right? So no, I'm not a crazy person. This is just the nature. It's an occupational. People say hazard, and for me, I'm like, it's pretty darn cool because I'm never alone, right? I have my ancestors and my angels and everything like that I talk to. And the high priestess understands that, right? That we're never alone. And so we're able to go inward, but people think that we're just throwing this word around like to be arrogant, or like we think like we're better than other people. And it's like, no, we just worked through more shit than you did. That's all. You can do it. I used to be like you, hateful and judgy. People's judgments and assumptions, and jealous and envious, and thinking like in broke, like in poverty mindset, and doing like, yeah, I was not an awesome person, and I've worked through that crap. But it took a really long time, and I had to push through it, and it wasn't easy, and it was very lonely. So, there you have it. You want to know where my vibration comes from, and it's been cultivated over a long time with many mistakes along the way where I've backslid and had to try and move forward. So, you can judge and like, yeah, I don't think that I'm better than you. Not at all. I went within, like I was so miserable, and I was around such miserable people, and I kept attracting miserable people, and I was like, well, maybe I'm the common denominator. So maybe I'll change something in myself and I'll be around other people. I still attract miserable people, but I can see them coming from a mile away. Right? I now trust my instincts. I'm no longer that person that like, oh, in hindsight, no more of hindsight. When I see a pink flag, I'm out of there. I'm already planning my escape while people are plotting, thinking that like, no, you trust your instincts. The world's largest baby weighing over 700 pounds. Like, yeah, your energy. It's like, what's this judgment? I like this judgment. You see this judgment. It's like people are like getting like this, who do you think you are to you? And you're just like, I'm staying in my own lane. What have I done? I healed, and that's offensive to you. I'm not codependent on you. That's offensive. You want people to feel dependent so that you feel, better about yourself. People are unfortunately uncomfortable with being by themselves,
right? If you can't be by yourself without the TV on or anything like that, or having a person or your phone or whatever, if you can't just sit still in a room, you've got some work to do. Period, point blank. You can talk about the depression and this, that, and the other. If you cannot sit in a room by yourself without any entertainment, without anybody else there, best friend, mom, dad, dog, you've got some work to do. Okay. The current political climate. Yeah, no, you're also like, this pulsating, getting this pulsating, like people are like you're on the brink, right? The high priestess, we know what's coming, right? We're a high priestess. We understand what the age of Aquarius is. We understand what all of these planetary transits, Pluto has been right in Capricorn for 20 years. This is going to be the next 20 years that Pluto's like, this is a huge transit. People in like, it's pulling up, right? That Capricorn, that Saturnian. Now it's about to go in Aquarius. Like these old constructs, right, aren't going to. And so what if people, have they judge you? They just think, I think they think you're like Looney Tunes, but I think they're starting to maybe catch on that maybe you know what the heck you're talking about. Right? What are they realizing? All of this judgments is like a sticky tree hole full of pancake sauce. They're realizing that they're in the matrix, that you actually know what day it is, and they're the ones that don't. Right? So these judgments, I think people are realizing they completely judged you incorrectly based on your looks and based on and how you present. Right? And I think people are realizing like how bigoted and racist they are. I mean, just straight up. I know I know a big amount of my clay, and I'm talking about Caucasian too, like people being bigoted and racist towards you. It goes both sides of the way, right? Like everybody from every race hates me. Just had to learn to deal with it as my eye twitches. Okay, well okay. Let me not generalize. I receive a lot of hate, jealousy, and envy from a lot of different, not just people of my that are biracial, but from all sides, right? And that's just something people are like, oh, pretty privilege. I'm like, I'm not gonna. If you want to hear rant and rave and the story and everything like that, go check out, a couple of. But I'm just like, everybody's dead to me now, except for me, right? You're all dead to me. Turning poor people against each other so they don't pay attention to economic inequality. Yeah, you don't subscribe to this. You understand that this is what the media does. You understand that this is what people do. They pit each other against each other so people can't see the larger narrative, and they get distracted. What are you doing? Why are you coming after the collective? Why are you the reason why you feel inferior is because they're not paying attention to you, because they're busy doing the things and putting the work in to the things that you think they shouldn't, right? You got to put in the work, people. That's it. I'm not trying to wag my finger. Just saying, you got to get on camera, you got to start the YouTube channel, you got to start making TikToks, you got to learn how to make a TikTok, you got to challenge yourself. I'm challenging myself. I can't stand yoga. I'm just going to do 10 minutes a day, tiny increments, right? Tiny increments. And that's how I learned to do this. Making a TikTok a day, and then it ended up being videos, and then ended up being pick a cards, and and it just, I've been doing this. Look at how many videos I have. I put in the work. I worked for it. You wish for it. Wishes won't get you anywhere. You gotta put your bum into it. You put your bum into going and getting hey, I do the things too. But anyways, I'm gonna get off the soapbox and take myself off of the cross. Thank you so much for joining me. If you appreciate this content, please consider subscribing, commenting, liking. It helps me out in the algorithm. Personal readings will be opening up soon, as well as corporate investigative ones. I appreciate your just everybody, everything, even the haters. Hey, y'all made me hood famous, right? All these views are because of you. All of my candles, all of my new spiritual gifts, they're because of you. So thank you for pushing me into realizing my full potential and getting the word out. Because publicity is publicity. And I haven't done a damn thing wrong, and you all know it. So as long as I keep my nose clean, everything else, the divine will work everything out. Will everybody know what the truth is, right? Yeah. So you've got some work to do. You are bound and hexed. If you want to hate watch, it'll be instant karma for you. So just be wary of your actions, what you're doing. I think people are starting to understand that there are consequences to their actions. But there can be consequences to good actions too. So this is what we're gonna try and work on this channel. So stick around, and maybe you'll learn something, and maybe you won't. But either way, thank you for the watch time hours. Bye.